Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to sketch for you how I would solve our KCHIGAMChap7ExEx15 Additional Maths or Add Maths textbook chapter 7 examination exercise number 15. I noticed that some teachers don't like it when you use computers and use Wolfram Alpha to help you on your homework, but I like it. And I think it's important for you to listen to your different teachers and to try to understand why they feel the way they do. And, maybe I'm sure other teachers have good reasons for suggesting that you do not use computers, but personally, I feel like all mathematicians use computers, and you should use the tools that are available to you. So I'm going to show you how I would do this exercise, assuming I were connected to the internet, which is a pretty fair assumption these days, okay? So let's just read it first and understand the question. Find the first, so notice that it's in two parts. The first part is 4 marks, and the second part is 2 marks. Part 1, find the first 4 terms in ascending powers of x in the expansion of, open parentheses, 2 minus x upon 2, close parentheses, raised to the 6th power. Okay, well, that's a pretty straightforward binomial theorem question. Of course, I know that there will be 7 terms in the binomial expansion to the 6th power. The first term, of course, will be just 2 to the 6th here. And, I can do it, and it's pretty straightforward, but I'm just going to start by, let's just have a look at Wolfram Alpha and expand this. So it's 2 minus x upon 2 to the 6th. Of course, I know I'm going to use the binomial coefficients from the 6th row of Pascal's triangle. I happen to know those by memory. That would be 1, 6, 15, 20, 15, 6, 1. But of course, computers can do this for me, and calculators can do this for me. So let's just see what Wolfram Alpha will do. So I'm just going to open Wolfram Alpha. Computational intelligence. For me, it's always a good idea to apply some computational intelligence. So I'm going to write expand, then I'm going to use brackets. I believe it was 2x minus x upon 2. I'm going to just check that that's what it was. 2 minus x upon 2. Oops, 2 minus x upon 2. And then I'm going to raise that to the 6th. I'm going to close the brackets and raise that to the 6th power. Okay, so let's see what it gets. Okay, so it's always interesting to okay, there it is. So it's I hope you can see that. Notice that Wolfram is going to write it in descending powers of x, which is customary, and the question asks for ascending powers of x, which would begin with this x to the 0th term, in other words, the constant term, plus 64. So the answer they're looking for is 64 minus 96x plus 60x squared minus 20x cubed. So now I know what I'm looking for. It's probably better than going to the back of the book. I can see, of course, that there are 7 terms in the expansion, which is something I expected. So now what I'm going to do is, on your homework, you might just cut and paste that into your homework, or you might just use it. So I'm going to write, using the binomial theorem in the 6th row of Pascal's triangle, as I've already said, and I'm going to write in ascending powers of x. Let's see, now I'm going to do each term, but I'm going to just do them one at a time. And I'm going to use Wolfram Alpha as a guide here. Well, I know that the first term is 2 to the 6th power, and 2 to the 6th, of course, is 64. So that's where I'm going to get that 64. So that makes sense. Then I'm going to use the binomial theorem. So the first coefficient from the sixth row, by first, I mean the one that comes after the 0th, of the sixth row of Pascal's triangle is a 6. Of course, I have a minus sign here, so I'm going to get positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. But I'm only using the first 4 terms. So I'm going to have minus 6 times 2 to the 5th, of course. You're going to go down by 1 in each power of 2, and then x upon 2 to the 1st. Then the third term is going to have the next coefficient in Pascal's triangle, which is 15, and then times 2 to the 4th times x upon 2 squared, etc. So once I simplify this, I get exactly the terms that Wolfram Alpha gave me. And there are my first 4 marks, I think. You get 4 marks for that, probably 1 for each term. So 4 marks, really? Wow, okay, that was easy. Now I have to go on and find let's read the question carefully, find the coefficient of x cubed in the expansion of everything we just multiplied by 1 plus x quantity squared. So that's interesting. Let's think about that. Now, I need to multiply out 1 plus x quantity squared times what I just computed. Now, I obviously am going to need only the first 4 terms, or maybe even less than the first 4 terms. I'm going to need the first 4 terms, so I'm not going to care about what comes afterwards, because one thing about these part 1, part 2 questions, you often use part 1 to solve part 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out, first of all, that 1 plus x quantity squared, of course we know a plus b quantity squared equals a squared plus b plus 2ab plus b squared. So this is going to be 1 plus 2x plus x squared. So now I have a trinomial. I have 3 terms here. And I have 4 terms. Actually, it's 7 terms, but I'm only looking at the first 4. And so I could multiply them all out, but that would give me 12 terms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hunt for the products. The products. A product is one factor times another. So one term from the first expression times one term from the second expression, one term from this first expression times one term from the second expression. I'm going to hunt for those products, which will give me an x cubed term. So clearly, to get an x cubed term, I need to multiply 1 by an x cubed term. So that's encircled in red there. I'm going to get my first product. That will give me an x cubed term. Then circled in blue, 2x, I would need to multiply by an x squared term. That'll give me 120x cubed. And then circled in green, x squared, I would need to multiply by an x term. So that will give me minus 96x cubed. So I can see that the x cubed term is, I'm going to group together the coefficients here, negative 20 plus 120 minus 96. And all of that is multiplied by x cubed. So the coefficient is just 100 minus 96, or 4. So that's the answer. Now, I'm going to go ahead and check this in Wolfram Alpha, okay? So I've already got this here, so I just need to put I'm going to put a square bracket here. 1 plus x quantity squared, and then end the square brackets. Oops, yeah, that might work. Let's see what happens. Okay, that should work. Let's see. I'm going to get a lot of terms here. There they are. And you can see that the x cubed term has a coefficient of 4. So now I'm going to use Wolfram Alpha to check that absolutely my answer is correct. And I'm done.